Hi, today is my 650th day of consistent daily meditation with my Insight Timer app, and I wanted to share with you what it's done for my neurospicy brain. Again, I have my notes, I have lots of notes. Settle in, get your fidget spinner, get your stuffy, something to pet or something, and have a good listen. Okay, here we go. So today, is day 67 of my 100-day YouTube challenge, as you know. Or if you don't know, welcome if you're new. And today is special though, 650 days of consecutive meditation on Insight Timer specifically. Not 400, not 500, not even 600, 650 today. As I said, I use Insight Timer app. Oh gosh, say that a bunch of times. Insight Timer, Insight Timer. So let me tell you what it's done for me. So for almost 2 years straight, 21 months plus, I did not miss a single day. Not one, I'll skip a day. I've done it through sickness and travel and chaos and waiting. And obviously, throughout this 67-day challenge thus far. And through everything, I still show up for me, I show up for myself. And why I'm sharing this exact number is because it's, pretty significant. 650. It's a big old number. Even, I like it. Precision matters. And actually celebrating the actual milestone, which is something I haven't done in the 650 days, but then also because I wasn't on YouTube like that. But I am now. And talk about using the Insight Timer. First of all, you should know it's free. You can pay for other features, but you can go and look and see if that's something you want to do. But more than that, it's free. There are thousands of guided meditations. The Insight Timer itself means that you can just set a timer and put different sounds on it. You can have a bell at the beginning, at the end, different styles of bell. There's a community feature, which is really nice. It shows you who's meditating with you at that specific time during the day, which I think is wonderful. I rather like that. And there is stats, milestones, and I think through the stats and tracking, that helps with motivation. At least I found it really nice to see the numbers increase over the days and days. In actuality, this is just this one particular streak. I have had many day streaks before. I actually started with meditation in 2015, daily meditation. When I started then, it was only, I was like, I can only manage 5 minutes in the morning. And so I started with 5 minutes in the morning every day. So it's 2015. And then later on, I found Insight Timer through my acting coach through Mighty Tripod. Hey, shout out Mighty Tripod. um, and let's see. So why that moment? Why that moment? Again, like I would say, the app was super helpful for the tracking. And like I said, because my acting teacher at the time, she recommended it, or maybe it was either her or her husband that did. I don't remember which one of them, but it was a couple. They used to run Mighty Tripod. I don't know if they're still out there. Probably. Really good actors and in Seattle. And and so that's why I started using it. And what was happening in my life? Yeah, I was starting acting classes proper, whereas it was a point where I had thought that I'm only going to do voice acting. That's all I want to do. And happened to go to, uh, I was looking for a manager and agent. What's agent? It's actually an agent. And the agents were like, the one that I wound up with, she's like, hey, we're gonna want you to be on camera. And I'm like, mortification. Okay, mortified, mortified. I was like, no, so I had a lot of anxiety from those moments and such that I think that it was maybe the reason why my acting teacher suggested insight timers, because maybe they just like read that on me and in my body because those first couple of acting classes it was hard. It was challenging to be on camera. I was much more trained at using my voice. And so that's what was going on. That was the impetus for the insight timer. That's how it all started. But meditation in general, 2015, actually started then because it was after my second joint replacement surgery. And again, like my body was recovering, my mind was like foggy with drugs, and I didn't feel like I needed something to have a focus, something to anchor the day. And so that's why I started in 2015. And also, more recently than that, I heard that meditation actually helps ADHD and autism. So now that I know that about myself, it's also been retrospectively well, it's definitely been helpful um, in knowing that I was more spicy. I'm like, oh, I'm already doing something and have been doing something that helps. Um, that sidebar, I would say that very net positive. That will have me. I think that's why I got really rigorous with actually doing meditation longer because of perimenopause. Pause. I was like, we just had a struggle. Another reason to kind of ante up on the meditation. And so the initial struggles were that I didn't know this at the time because I didn't have deep chats with the therapist at the time. We were more surface level, but I had really high anxiety um, back then, like 2015. And I was a lot of suffering. Like I said, they literally doctors went in my bones and rebuilt them twice. So, and also married, like I said before, abusive marriage, and was just not great. It's like anytime somebody will sit there and just watch you suffer, yeah, just leave that all the time. Truly. Um, so there's all of that going on. And I had just a general frustration and resistance. Um, so the beginning of meditation was really challenging for me. And I kept going because of the streak. I think it was really helpful for my brain to see the numbers get bigger and bigger. And I was deeply curious about long-term effects because I had read papers that said, people who do meditation over long term, it has a lot of health benefits. And I was like, yes, I would like that. Health benefits, brain benefits, yes, please. And also, like, I just knew that my nervous system like needed help. And the biggest, sometimes you just do stuff for science, right? It's going to be helpful. You do it for science. It's great. So before and after, the improvements that I noticed were that task initiation is slightly easier. Looking back from before, it's like it's definitely started to be easier. Um, the on my tongue. Oh my goodness, I tell you, the biggest thing was that can pause before reacting, which was huge because I had teenagers and I was just like, and if you're mom of teenagers, it's just like, you're like looking at them like, who are you and why? So yeah, way better emotional regulation and improved focus. And I want to say in the beginning, it was, as you know, in the beginning, it'll be marginal. You might not notice much, but looking back, maybe huge improvement in my focus. In terms of emotional regulation, less reactive to triggers. You can sit with discomfort longer, though I can say that. Sidebar, leaving a marriage, baby, that will set you free. And that is a huge, it causes you to, really, like I said, leave a really bad situation and get more in touch with yourself and add on meditation, solid. Emotions, that they can still be big, but it feels like you have, or at least for me, a lot more space around huge emotions. It's like, holy cow, it doesn't feel like being sucked in and imploding. It feels more like like a star of intense white hot of emotion, but it's like you have all of this nebulous space that's like maybe a jelly feel space, and then it's like you can release more slowly the really hot emotion. If it's hot, really big and tight feeling. And so that's how that helps. And also recovery time, faster, faster for healing, faster for the emotion recovery, just everything in those realms, but faster. So in terms of anxiety and overwhelm, there's a have a lower baseline for uh, anxiety, and it's interesting. I'll talk about that later, but we'll talk about interoception. And I have the meditation is a huge tool to return to calm, just like or get calm if it's been thinking of insights, and you're like, oh, okay, it's good. So a morning ritual time helps with structure of the day, obviously. And for me, it's a 5 minute in the morning to 30-minute meditation time. And I would say that it helps a bit with time blindness. Okay, sleep. Let's talk about sleep. Evening meditation also helps me to wind down. Better sleep quality, a little bit better. Again, I'm going to say it'll be much better for you if you're not going through perimenopause. Okay. That's a whole nother separate video about sleep and perimenopause and all of that. But I can say that um, transition to rest is easier. There's less racing thoughts at night. And I will put this here in that I will say it helps immensely to have a journal and brain dump before your evening meditation, if you can remember, because it will help the meditation go more easily. That's what I've noticed. Try it, don't try it, up to you. And like I say, with meditation, didn't fix, you know, I still struggle with executive functioning, and there's nothing, it helps you manage, um, yeah, it manages anxiety quite a lot. I'll say that. And what it does for the autistic brain before and after, I would say that with the whole sensory overwhelm thing, I definitely recover much faster. Um, you can self-regulate through meditation. Helps me create like a quiet space. I mean, there's like chaos all around, which is huge. And definitely grounding when there's overstimulation. You don't feel like fizzy pop bubbles. Don't feel like that. I feel definitely more contained, which is good. Masking awareness. Yes. Meditation revealed definitely how much I tend to mask. I took the RAVS test, I think it's called, or had D or something like that. I have super high masking. As a matter of fact, I think that it's interesting because it's like I have all this IQ, and I spent the majority of it through my life masking. It's like, oh, what did you do with your IQ? Well, I got very good at acting like a neurotypical person. That's what I did. So anyway, yes, meditation will help reveal how much you mask, and um, it helps with, when you're sitting quietly, like noticing where there's tension in your body, because I know that, for other autistic people who just have a problem noticing what's going on in their body. Also, I think ADHD also has this thing that they don't notice what's going on in their body. So this meditation practice is definitely going to help with that. And the other wonderful thing is that it's this big spaciousness to unmask, to um, yeah, in that space you just unmask. It's like so I would say just do that. Like if your meditation just happens to be you gotta move or you're gonna have tics and you gotta do something with your body, just do it, right? Whatever your stem is, however it goes. It's like, and that's still your meditation practice. You're sitting down with yourself and you're noticing. Okay. So alexithymia, emotion identification. Okay. So much better, at least I have, at recognizing emotions in my body, like where it is, and super helpful. Naming feelings faster. It's helped so much. Whereas before I started meditating, it was more just I'm angry or I'm mad or that's really the only thing. It was challenge that I had. I literally all the time have to look through the whole wheel of emotion. And um but it was like interesting because I could name all of the positive things. There's a sidebar with the whole um even have a feeling like you have permission to be angry or anything else outwardly as a Black person, Black women. We know, we know. So that's a whole thing with that. There is better, it's good to process them, helps really the space to process your emotions rather than avoiding them. Or even, like I said, that sometimes you're just not even going to be able to find the emotion or find the word for it or find the feeling for it. But meditation will help you find the word for it, find the feeling for it, find it where in your body where it is. Very, very helpful. Burnout prevention. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. It's a daily reset to build your routine. It's like you need it's like if you're strictly ADHD, it's like I know you're like, routine. Okay, absolutely not. But this is a gentle way to introduce routine so your brain doesn't go, absolutely not, no, just I object. Which is helpful to do it slowly. Helpful to do it slowly. In terms of other burnout prevention, I'd say it's a really sustainable self-care practice. Self-care over time, less burnout, which is what we want here. Special interest integration. Here we go. Come on, words. And I could say that, yeah, meditation in the beginning was a special interest for me, but over time, now it's just a thing that I do. Part of who I am, that's what I do. Uh, and in terms of how it solidified the tracking, the watching the days go more and more and more, and watching the pattern is definitely my autistic brain. It was like, oh, I love that. I love that. I love that a lot. And it just a wonderful feature. And now to routine and structure. Meditation was the consistent anchor. Yay! Same time, same practice. Or even if you don't have, it's not at the same time, guess what? It's the same practice. Predictable equals safe. We like that. Routine comforts the offer. Autistic brain. Yes. In the morning. Meditation, we're going to do it. It's very, very good. Structure and chaos. Yay. Um, again, so I would say, it's not going to be a cure for a neurospicy brain because there's nothing wrong with us. We're a beautiful manifestation just the way we are. It does not cure your anxiety. No, it will help you manage, and that's great. Okay. And how it's helped me through waiting. I would say that meditating every single day through waiting, through getting to my next abroad destination, helpful anchor point in this liminal space of, oh, things aren't happening or it's happening now and da 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 da. All of that. When I can't control anything else, guess what? I can control meditation. You can control your meditation. You can control your breaths, and you know how that goes. So, very, very good. So, what meditations provided calm in this frustration space? When I have frustration about, uh, not being where I want to be abroad quite yet. Patience is a practice. Listen, I have patience, a lot of it. And definitely the meditations will help with your present moment focus. Like it gets you in your body, the right here, the right now, the what's going on, the sounds, the smells, the changes in differential intensity of light if you're closing your eyes to meditate as opposed to staring at a point in space. It's a daily reset button. Bing! Love that. And grounding through the limbo, as I said, it's been a fantastic thing for me. And let's see, how was it without meditation? Now, for me, it was, I feel like the weight, if I didn't have the long practice of meditation through this specific time of waiting to go back abroad, I can say that I'd be 100% less regulated. It would be a whole mess. I'd probably have meltdowns daily. I'd have sky high anxiety. I'd be 100% less resilient. And, I don't know how your autism works, but like when I'm super high dysregulated, I cannot think as well. So I need this well thinking in order to structure, in order to plan, which I enjoy planning because autism brain is like, yay, plan. So what does my actual practice look like? And like, what do you actually do? What I actually do is I do, like I said, in the morning, 5 to 30 minutes. It can be guided or a regular, just a timer with the sound. Let's see, first thing or close to it. What else? The Insight timer, since it's on my phone, I I only open that app and it's right at the top of my apps. So it's like I don't go with my eyes around the screen. I know where it is and I'm focused on there's the app, hit the button, and it sets the tone for the day. For the evening practice, yes, there's the evening practice. I do twice a day. You may only do once a day, which is fine. So for me, it's the wind down meditation. It helps with transition to sleep, as I mentioned much earlier in the video. For me, it's usually 10 to 15 minutes because that's about how long it takes me to do a body scan or breath work. Usually for me, it's a body scan, especially if it's been a high tension day or been a lot of unknown factors in the day. Definitely a body scan because I swear every single time it's like a tension somewhere in my body. It's usually here, like you on my shoulders to my ears, right? Instead of here, where they should be. So where I meditate. in the same spot in bed. I make it the thing also make it easy for yourself. Prop up your pillows, sit up a bit more. You don't have to go into a room and to pick a cushion and blah, blah. No, make it easy for yourself. I make it easy for me. I lay right here, or I lay on the bed, um, and sitting up so that I don't fall back asleep. And quiet when possible. If I can't get quiet, I absolutely 100% will use my noise canceling headphones, especially because, like, right now I said I'm at a friend's house and it's usually really noisy. So, time of day for me, twice a day, morning, evening. Uh, and yeah, I hope that, like I said, I do twice a day. You do not have to do twice a day. Make it easy. And your and I'm saying that because your tips for starting really are start small. 2 minutes totally counts. Okay, 2 minutes counts. 5 minutes is perfect. Do not aim for me like I do and sit for 30 minutes. You do not have to do that. You can build slowly over time. Go for consistency over duration, for sure. Because if you're just starting, you're building the muscle towards that, or maybe you've stopped and started and you're starting again, so you know the benefits, but now you're building consistency in your practice. Also, that's why it's called a practice, meditation practice. And also, another thing that makes it easy to start with guided meditations. Um, let somebody else tell your brain what to do. No decision fatigue about that. They're just like, yes, and now think about your right hand. And you're like, okay, yes, my right hand. It's very, very helpful. Oh, the other thing, it seems silly, but find voices you like. The voice you like. I remember there would be, I'd be like, oh, I want to try something new. Because ADHD, I want to try novelty, try something new. I click on it and it'd be like, hi, I'm Sunny Johnson. Now we're going to do a meditation on that. And I was like, oh, no. Well, no, that is not going to work. So absolutely necessary to find a voice that I like. And I will tell you, you will get distracted. You will get distracted. And that's okay. And you kind of do like that Drake meme or whatever it was where he was like, and just you're like swatting the thoughts or just like yeah, if it's active, like your brain's really out in a moment, you can go through and be like imagine yourself like judo chopping thoughts. Or you can just watch them pass by if you have less energy in your mind, you're just like it's like yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking about relationships. I'm just gonna let that thought pass, and that's fine. Distractions will come in the brain, and that's 100% okay. Your ADHD brain will absolutely wonder. 100% normal. What else? No, you just notice and you just return to breathing. That's what I wanted to say about that. Distraction isn't a failure. You just breathe through it and you bring your awareness back to what you were doing. That's the easiest way to start. I promise you. And like I said, also, it doesn't have to be 2 minutes. It can be whatever amount of time your brain can focus. You just hit the timer. And if it just happens to be 30 seconds, you're like, hey, I meditated today, though. Get it done. Do the thing. Get the benefits, baby. Track your streak. Feels good to track your streak. I love that. And seeing your streak. Again, I don't know about for you, but for me, motivating. Like, ooh, I did the streak. And same time, same place. It helps, but also it can be same place. It can also just be more widely than that, just the same thing. You just know you're gonna meditate. Like I said, less decision fatigue. You don't have to pick it. You don't have to think about the picking of the meditation. Sometimes you just pick one and just go with it. And I would say give it 30 days minimum. 30-day try. every single day. Just a little something, just a little something. If you miss a day, it's okay. Start again the next day. Street breaks can happen. Um, and then it also will help you with, having self-compassion over time, which is a practice. It's just a practice. Practice, not perfection. Begin again. Okay? My neurospicy tips specifically now, hey, if you're not neurospicy and you listen this far, thank you. These tips are specifically for us neurospicy folks. I was saying, really going to emphasize, once again, shorter sessions are okay. Fidget tools absolutely allowed. Oh my gosh. For me, I usually, my hands will be going. I don't have a fidget tool. I'm still thinking about what I might want for one. You can have your eyes open if needed. As I said earlier, you can just look at a point out there on the wall. That will do. Lying down counts. As I said, being in the bed counts. Silent or guided both work. What else? Just make it work for your brain. Okay, that's all I really want to say. Make it work for your brain. And let's see. I'm gonna skip that for now. I don't feel like talking about that. I feel like this video has been long enough. I'm tired of talking. I've been talking. I think you have the gist of it, the different benefits. I really wanted to stress just at the end that you can start simple, you can start easy, you can start a little bit. And I, the impact I talked about earlier is that, um, and your small daily meditations will compound for you. That's great. I did want to mention that. Just gonna look through my room, see if there's anything else I super wanted to say. Um, gratitude. I got time for that. I do want to talk about that. I am grateful for just my acting teacher way back that suggested this app. I am grateful for all of the teachers that are on Insight Timer app. I'm grateful to all the people who saw me on Insight Timer app and they said thank you for meditating with me. I'm grateful to my fellow meditators. I am grateful that this is something that I've come back to time every single day, and this helps me through all of the transitions of my life. Um, I'm grateful for a lot of things. And I just want to say, hey, you can start today. 2 minutes is enough. Again, I can't overemphasize that enough. Your brain deserves this care. It does. Your brain deserves some meditation. It deserves the benefits of that. And yeah, I want you to do that. Meditate, start or restart. And if you want to know more about me, there's videos down here that are relevant to you, or up there is going to be my latest video. And thank you for being here. Like and subscribe. Por favor. Okay. Aloha and have a wonderful day.